How we doing? Meteorologist Steve Fundaro here on this beautiful, beautiful day. Sun is out. Temperature's already in the 60s, getting close to 70 degrees, feeling more like spring than it does February. And a beautiful day to show you this. We got a beautiful new area here at Wavy TV 10. Welcome to Patio 10. We're going to be using this throughout our newscast moving forward to help tell the story, whatever the story is here in the community of Hampton Roads, to help connect with you guys and help connect with the viewers here. Primarily, we'll be using this for weather too. Our team of meteorologists is going to be out here quite often using some of those new and cool 3D graphics that we build and produce out here on this here on the outdoor set, Patio 10. So beautiful little bar area here, again with a little grill. We're doing a little cookout here in honor of the big game, some fountain action, wood paneling here in this beautiful rounded circular area here in the patio with a nice little outdoor monitor as well. So all the fixings here to help tell that story and help connect to the community here. So some really cool stuff. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson's going to be out here this afternoon when we reveal Patio 10 through the 4 and 5:30 newscast, doing some weather segments outside. And again, primarily, that's what we're going to start using this for. You'll see the team of meteorologists out here quite often. And I want to show you guys a little bit further behind the scenes look about how we build some of those graphics and how we build some of those sets and elements to help tell our weather story. So I'm going to go link up with digital producer Sarah Goode in the digital studio and go a little bit further behind the scenes. We'll catch you over there. All right, heading into New Soon. Here, Jen. Everyone here is hard at work. I'm going to walk right to the digital studio, which is back in the back corner of the newsroom. All right, let me just go over here, and then we're going to take this and we're going to put this camera right here and get it all set up. Okay, all right, cool. Woo.
We're in. Welcome to the Wavy Digital Desk. I'm Sarah Goode, your host, and Steve Fundaro is here to talk to us about the behind-the-scenes look at the Patio 10 setup. I know that he just took you on a tour of what it looks like outside. Now we're going to get into how they actually developed the graphics that you're seeing on screen. And also just wanted to introduce you to the digital studio. Here we are. Steve has been doing a bunch of videos from the studio for a while, really, since the fall. He's been giving you some weather updates from here. We've been doing a lot of conversations in here, and it's just a great resource for us to have at Wavy 10, and we really enjoy this space. So I'm glad we could do this today.
It's fantastic, and if we're being honest, not everyone still has cable these days, you know, so we have to be able to reach the community where the community is, and a lot of that is just online. So why not get some fancy toys to be able to do that? And Sarah's been doing just a fantastic job here implementing all these really cool tools, and I call them toys because there's some really fancy stuff in here and some really cool things to get some information out. Of course, weather is always important. You want to catch that weekend forecast, you can get right over to wavy.com or our YouTube site, and everything from this digital studio is over there. Sarah's been doing some community chats, which has been awesome, connecting to the community and connecting to the viewers. But as you mentioned, I want to dive into how we build some of the weather graphics that are in that 3D realm, or at least we call it augmented reality here at Wavy TV 10, and it kind of is going to make Patio 10, which I showed you earlier, look a little bit different from when you tune into the newscast later on at 4 and 5:30 when we unveil it. So let's just dive right into the weather graphics too.
So pulling up on your screen, you're going to see a behind the scenes look here. This is something that Steve has created for us to be able to show you what they go through in their process to create these graphics. So Steve, go for it.
It's kind of like more than forecasting, because we're producing as well, and these things are quite fancy. So right now you just see I opened up the scene. It's a bit of a black screen because we have multiple layers here in our graphics in our slide. It's kind of like an elaborate PowerPoint here that pulls in all of the weather data and weather numbers and information, and we can manipulate that to help tell the story. And in the situation with using Patio 10, we can manipulate it in a way that makes it seem augmented reality, makes it seem like a 3D kind of element popping up out of nowhere. Yeah, so basically we just created a little bit of a map that is floating in the air, and all of these things here, this little layer of our counties here in Hampton Road in Northeast North Carolina, our counties and cities. On this layer itself, you've got additional plots for your temperatures. All those numbers can be manipulated, and then you could add in transitions. Does it fade in? Does it spin? How does it move? How does it slide? You want it to pop up out of the ground and all this kind of stuff. And then the cool thing that the directors do back in the control room is they just layer that on top of the live shot and kind of create almost like a optical illusion, so to speak. So for a day like today, yesterday, it's beautiful out. We can maybe build something that helps tell the weather story. We've been talking about high pressure for a while. Well, why not put a big blue H on the patio outside? So that's something you could layer, you could tilt, you could move, and help tell the weather story. We talk about high pressure systems being like these big domes of like warm air. So why not put a little big dome of warm air to help visually portray that? And again, all of these pieces are just that, individual pieces that we could take and we could manipulate, we could rotate, we could move around, and create some kind of cool stuff that helps us stand out from the rest and helps us again just tell the weather story and be able to connect with our viewers to be able to just put out a good product and make some cool stuff out there, Sarah.
Absolutely.
So it's
exciting.
exciting.
It looks so interactive for you guys. I mean, I think it's very cool as a viewer to see you all working through these graphics and seeing the process. I mean, even here we have such a new feature using the outside terrace or patio, and so that'll be really cool moving into the spring and summer to actually be out there giving you the forecast from outside.
And hopefully we're only outside when it's nice and
yes.
not when it's raining or cold. Or I will say though, I guarantee. I'll claim it now that the next time there is any sort of snow in the forecast, or if it is snowing in Hampton Roads, you could place money and bet, not at Rivers Casino, but just somewhere that you could bet Chief Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson will be likely outside somewhere in the snow doing a live hit from there. So we're just excited here at Wavy TV 10. We got some really cool fancy tools here again to help connect with the community and connect with you. So we just wanted to show it off a little bit, show you guys how we build some of these things. They are a pain and you know what to do. It's not easy. You often find Ricky Matthews and I pulling our hair out or going back and forth. And how do you build this? How do you put this in? How do you do that? How do you do that? And working as a team with the photographers, the directors, and the producers to put on a good show and show off some cool stuff.
Well, from my seat, it looks very seamless and it looks, very cool, I think, for the viewer to see from, the bare minimum sort of what you guys have developed from the patio. I mean, it's very interactive. I guess you guys can create snow out there if it's not going to snow.
We could, we could easily, yeah, exactly. We could probably, let's see if I could do something right now. Let's see if I could add, this may be a little difficult. I could add a studio polygon. Yeah.
It's okay.
Maybe I won't do that.
Our snow
that may take more than 30 minutes here, so maybe I won't do that here.
Let's leave some mystery. They'll see it later.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really cool. I mean, I think, as we do more things, and you've done so many things in the past, from even on the anchor desk, the Santa, you guys have done a lot of AR stuff in the studio. So this is just going to be a really cool extension of that, that viewers can enjoy.
Let me show you guys the Santa really quick too as well. Let me see if that's still in my workspace.
For those who might not have seen it, and we do have it on wavy.com, Steve created a Santa that sat on the desk and he showed how cool the temperatures were going to drop with the Santa on the anchor desk right before the holiday when it was getting into those really cool temperatures in our area. So it was a really neat feature that we were able to sort of, make interactive with the viewers.
I'm just going to see if I still have my Santa. There we go. So we were describing this before about being able to manipulate the camera angle and the camera shot. And Sarah mentioned we do it in the studio all the time, so it's the same thing. So if this is the camera shot in the studio, why not put a little feature of snow? Right? These are all individual little elements here. You got a mound of snow. There's little presents here. All these little pieces are all kind of built and sized in there. And then we'll throw a little Santa Claus in there. Turn them blue when the wind picks up. Additional layers of snow on top of that. And all those little things that just, again, help tell the weather story. Are we talking about wind chills in our forecast? No, because it's 70 degrees outside. So just make sure you get out and enjoy that as we welcome just some beautiful weather. And again, we're really excited here about Patio 10. We're going to be showing it off. I hope hopefully a lot here in the coming days. So this is some really cool stuff. Yeah. And again, if you didn't catch it already, through our 4 and 5:30 newscast, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson was out there showing off Patio 10. All that stuff is over on our YouTube page and over on wavy.com.
Absolutely. Check it out in, live time there on the newscast. And then if you want a behind the scenes look, you can always drop back to this video to see and get an idea of how all the graphics are developed.